With a fifth LEGO Indiana Jones movie on the horizon for 2023, LEGO Indiana Jones has returned. This is the 77012 Fighter Plane Chase with 387 pieces, and it retails for $40 in the United States. If you want to buy one, use the affiliate link in the description below. Unlike the original Fighter Plane attack set though, this one takes after the second part of the chase scene for Indy and his father, where they steal a car after crashing the plane. The set does include 3 minifigs with a new Indiana Jones, Professor Henry Jones Sr., and a fighter pilot. The rear of the box shows the airplane with no wings inside of the tunnel, and I love the 3 little movie scenes also shown on the box, especially the one with the fighter plane about to crash into the tunnel. As we unbox this set, we'll find our typical numbered bags, instruction manual, and a sticker sheet. Getting started on our minifigures, we have to start with Indiana Jones. The 2023 update for this figure is fantastic. I think they did a really good job updating a classic LEGO minifigure, but they didn't make that big of a departure from what we saw in the past. He holds his whip here, which is rubberized to allow for a lot of play, so you can pull it out and connect it into certain LEGO parts, and it will hopefully go right back into the circular shape that the whip is in currently when you let go of it. I'm sure over time it could wear poorly, but as of now, it looks really good for collectors. They also brought in a new 2-in-1 hat and hairpiece, which is phenomenal. It's much better, I think, than just the hat from years past, because, like, why wouldn't you just want to accurately have hair showing from underneath the hat? I think it looks really good. They also have a double-sided face, so you can get 2 facial expressions from this Indy figure. Now we have Professor Henry Jones Sr., and he's holding his diary. It's a small printed 1x1 tile, but it still looks pretty good, and the same goes for the rest of the figure here. Nice torso print. The lack of a leg print doesn't really bother me here. It's one of those characters, much like the fighter pilot we'll see in a second, where you just don't need it. The back of this figure is also about as simple as they come. The third and least interesting figure to me is the fighter pilot. He's got brown gloves on, he's wearing his helmet with goggles that can be pushed down. The smallest of the 3 builds in this set is this road sign on a small parcel of land here. It does say Berlin is going to be that away, and it does have a warning for an upcoming tunnel. That might be important for one of the vehicles in the background. Like, obviously you can't include a whole tunnel for 40 bucks, but having the sign just for the imaginative idea that there's going to be a tunnel ahead is just great to me. Now, this white car here gives me one of my 2 real complaints about the set, and that's that I would have loved to see the minifigure of the guy they steal this car from, because he could be standing right here with, you know, some tools and working on the wheel, and then just get the car stolen just like that. I think it would be an awesome thing to have included. Obviously, it's not here, and that's definitely a detractor, but this car is still phenomenal. It looks awesome to me. I think we'll start with the bottom side, very plain and very Speed Champions-esque in a lot of ways for the design of this. It's very well done. We have the wheels that have rubber that's smaller than the actual wheel there, and I think that's kind of interesting to see as far as a design. I don't know if I've ever seen this on another LEGO car. I don't own a ton of LEGO cars, but definitely interesting and different than what I expected. As we look to the side door here, these are stickers on the door, and the doors do not open. They are stuck in there. They're not going anywhere, but they do look really nice, so that's good. The fenders are very large on this set, and my buddy Olaf said that it made it look like a 4+ or junior set to him, and when he mentioned that, like, I kind of see it now. Like, it does make it look like it's using just purposefully large pieces. The front bumper, grille, and headlights look real nice, and then the windshield here is interesting because it's not actually glass, it's just clear, so technically it's not very effective. The rear of the car has a couple brake lights, and the trunk doesn't open or anything, but there is another trunk in this set right here, and then a briefcase. The trunk can be pulled out. The briefcase can also be pulled out. The briefcase actually falls out quite easily in this car if you flip it over. Obviously, it's not an airplane, so realistically, this car should never be flipped over. Inside of this trunk, though, we have an umbrella and a pistol, which I believe are here to, like, represent what they use in the 3rd part of the chase scene, where they have to take out another airplane using the umbrella, or at least Indy's dad does, using the umbrella to scare seagulls. And inside the car, we have the steering wheel and seats for 2. The car comfortably fits both those minifigs in there, and I think overall it looks really awesome, and it's a great escape vehicle to escape from the next thing we're going to look at, the fighter plane. I had no idea how badly I wanted a World War II era LEGO fighter plane until I built this. This is so good. We'll kick it off with the prop at the front, which spins pretty well if you just push on it, it's just gonna spin, and it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's not gonna spin like with any sort of function to it. Like if you move the wheels, it doesn't have a mechanism inside that makes it spin, nor does flying it through the air, obviously. So it is a Lego set. It's limited by reality. You do have to spin it by hand, but when it does spin, it looks pretty cool doing so. The engine behind there looks awesome. I love what they did for that, and they have a little camouflage sticker on both sides. You can see that camouflage carried throughout in a few other different spots on the wings and on the back tail. And the wings are something they designed amazingly on this set. They're really strong, so even when you hold it at the very end, they're not going to break off. You can still fly it around. So for kids playing with this, it's a very sturdy model. But for collectors that care about the way something looks, they also are at an angle. So they're no longer just a straight, rigid design. They do slightly angle up and away from the plane. It's pretty amazing what they were able to do with this design for the wing. Now on the wings, you do have your stud shooters, which are really supposed to be machine guns, but they work very effectively. Those things can shoot like 10, 20 feet pretty easily. And they're of course easy to load in. But the main feature of the wings and the whole idea of having the hazard tunnel ahead sign here is that the wings can be detached, because when this thing runs into the tunnel, the wings fall off obviously, and then it glides alongside the car for a minute before eventually exploding. But with the wings removed, you get the idea there. There's a couple ball joints on the side of the airplane that connects up. You can see a small flame from the detachment of the wing, which I think is kind of cool. Like you have more flames on the side of the ship and on the bottom, which it's like they're ever present. It's always there, but it's also like not something you notice. So if we put this wing back on, like the flames aren't like super noticeable, and you could always just take it off if you're looking for like a display piece that doesn't have flames on it. Looking to the back fin, we have a really simple design. It's very bricky back here. They don't really try to do anything too fancy, which is nice. Like the car uses a lot of fancy techniques for all of its angles and designs, but when you get to the back of this airplane, it's as simple, basic Lego bricks as it can get almost. Now, when it comes to the canopy for this airplane, I think they have nailed it. It's so much better, first off, than the original version, but it also just looks really good and accurate. It does have one massive downside though, and that's that it is a sticker on the canopy, and a lot of people are decently okay with stickers at this point. It's just kind of a reality of collecting Lego. But when it comes to putting stickers on clear Lego pieces, it's a problem, especially with a set that a lot of kids are going to end up buying too. Like obviously if you're a collector, you're going to be a little bit more careful, but you know, you can mess this up really easily, even as a seasoned veteran of the Lego hobby. If you don't put this on properly and you try to like reapply it and take it off and fix it, you can't really fix it, because when you pull it off, it leaves a residue on the sticker or on the piece. I think it's usually on the sticker that you're just not going to get rid of, and it's going to have like a blotch on your otherwise clear sticker, and it doesn't look good anymore. So that's a problem. But if we pull this off just like that, it's just connected at the back there, we can see the pilot seat, and it's pretty cool there. It's got a couple gauges inside. We have my favorite half tile, half stud system. Makes it easy to place the figures in and not so easy for them to fall out, but it's also just easy to take them out when you need to take them out. Reattach this like so, and he's ready for takeoff. Now, I want you to listen to the takeoff because I think it's pretty cool. There's just something about that plastic wheel in the back that sounds so good as it glides across the wood about to take off. So I'm a huge fan of that, but the two rubber wheels on the front, very strong, not going anywhere, help make a soft landing for you. I'm a big fan of this plane. It's amazing. To me, this set is a no-brainer to pick up from Indiana Jones if you enjoyed this fighter chase scene in the slightest, and it was a pretty good scene, so I don't really see why people wouldn't. It's a great representation of the airplane, the car, and the minifigs within, perhaps only missing the minifigure they stole the car from, and really the real downside to the set is using a sticker on this canopy piece. I do wish it was printed. Other than that, it's a perfect Lego Indiana Jones set. What more could you want for $40? 9.9 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments section below, and you can check out more Lego Indiana Jones set reviews on the end screen now.